Well, Derby Week is full of excitement, but there is one special night all about giving back to the people who make racing possible. The Race for Grace Gala and Auction is the signature annual fundraiser for the Kentucky Racetrack Chaplaincy. It's happening April 27th at the First Turn Club at Churchill Downs. This meaningful event supports nearly 7,000 backside workers. The grooms, hot walkers, and caretakers are the backbone of Kentucky's racing industry. Guests will enjoy a dinner overlooking the track, powerful stories, and an auction packed with incredible items, and I cannot wait to tell you all about those. But here to tell us more is Jim Ty and Mark Klein. Thanks for joining us.
First of all, congratulations. You got two racetrack guys out of bed and with neckties on in broad daylight.
Well, congrats to you guys. I mean, this is such a beautiful event. I cannot wait to dig into all the details, but what is the Race for Grace Gala and Auction, and why is this just so important for your organization?
Well, first of all, thanks for having us on. This alone is a huge benefit for the Kentucky Racetrack Chaplaincy and our mission. Race for Grace is so important because it's our annual event, and it's our single largest fundraiser for the year.
And you go all out. I mean, it's kind of kicking off all the things happening at Churchill Downs that week. So what can people experience while they're there?
They could experience the fellowship, a good guest speaker. Will Walden is our guest speaker this year. He has battled addiction, went into a program called Stable Recovery, and has turned out to be a really good trainer. In fact, he had a horse that almost won the Oaks last year, a couple of years ago. Yes.
And you are the MC for the event. Is this your first rodeo, or have you been with the chaplaincy for
I've been going to the racetrack since I was a kid. That knowledge has been paid for at retail rates. So this is my first chance to be involved in chaplaincy at a formal event, and I'm absolutely honored to do it. I will tell you, and the people watching our program, none of those horses take a step on that track without the 400 workers and the 1,500 members of their families that are behind the scenes, and this program benefits them. So without the people that this benefits, none of that stuff happens on the track until these horses are groomed, fed, walked, ready, prepared, and this benefits the people that do that, and that's why it's so hugely important to support. We support the track when we go, we make our bets, we cheer for our horses and our jockeys and our favorite trainers, but none of that happens, and I mean none of it, without the people that this organization takes care of 365 days a year, and not just in Louisville, but around the entire state. The chaplaincy has programs that benefit workers in the Cincinnati area, at Turfway Park and Belterra Downs. The training farms in this area also, the workers there benefit from this. So this is a very panoramic program for racing.
And Ellis Park in the summer as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. And so can you specifically share a story that shows the impact this ministry has on those workers and those families?
Yeah, well, first of all, we're a ministry of presence. So the funds that we raise, we use to employ chaplains to work the backsides and nurture the spiritual needs of the workers on the backside. I think my favorite stories are when a worker comes in on a van with the horses, has only the clothes on his back and not even a toothbrush. We have a clothing closet where they can come and get clothes, toiletries, and if it's cold, maybe a coat. Our children's ministry is also growing very rapidly. We have Monday night services with a meal. We have children's programs which indirectly bring their parents in as well, that we can talk and interface with.
I love that it's not just the worker, but you're also really bringing in the families, because I mean, maybe they've moved miles and miles away from home, and so maybe they are stationed here for a while, maybe specifically for the Kentucky Derby, that whole race week. So what does it mean to not only put an emphasis on Derby week, but this is a year-round support system?
Very much a year-round, because oftentimes when the horses leave and go to the southern tracks, let's say, the spouses, the workers will go, but oftentimes their families will stay here on a permanent basis. So we become, essentially a true home for them.
That makes it so special. So let's go back to this amazing event. Again, you can't do it up better than actually having this at Churchill Downs, and you can actually see the backside if you look to the right there. So let's talk about these auction items, because you go all out for these.
Yes. For the live auction items, Churchill Downs is gracious enough to give us a box seat to the Derby and to the Oaks for next year, so people can come this year and then get their friends and get organized. We have several trips that people can go on, and then in the silent auction, there are all kinds of things. Probably the most significant or the thing that people appreciate most are actual halters of the Derby horses.
Wow.
So we go around when the horses the final 20 get picked, and we'll take a new halter to the trainers and ask to trade, for the halter that we have. So when people purchase a halter, it's actually been worn by the horse.
And you can try them on at the event if you want to try the halter on. It's okay to do that. This is total inside baseball for the racing industry. If you're a racing fan of any kind, this is like being in the locker room at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You're in there with jockeys, trainers, owners, anyone who's anyone. A lot of people who aren't anybody like me, we're there too. What we share is the passion for racing, the love of the event, and again, you get to bet on all this great, cool stuff. And this particular group that it benefits, the chaplaincy, who they serve, when you participate in something like this, believe me, you get more out of this than you give. You go to an event like this, you're going to come away with a lifetime memory of inside stuff at the racetrack you'll never get a chance to see otherwise, because there's a whole ecosystem back there. There's a whole society and whole world back there that if you get involved in the chaplaincy's programs, you go back there and you get to see it and touch it, feel it, kick the tires on it, and you get to see exactly where your donations and your money and your ticket, you can see where that goes, the people back there. It doesn't go to some post office box or some organization 1,000 miles out of town. It goes 5 miles from here to the people that are actually working out there. It's a great group.
It really, really is. Well, if people are interested in getting their tickets, I know they're going to go so quick. How can people do that?
They can go to kychaplaincy.org and sign up there. If people want to volunteer, they can do that as well. I always say prayer, spreading awareness, time, and treasure are the things that we need. Our Monday night meals, we work with local organizations and groups to sponsor those. We put on 52 a year.
Wow.
They're not inexpensive. And so if anyone wants to put a group together and sponsor one of those meals, that would be welcome as well.
All righty. Well, thank you both so much for coming on today, getting us all fired up about this event. Now I need to get my tickets. This sounds like a wonderful opportunity. So again, to learn more, get those tickets, head over to kychaplaincy.org.